There we go. Maybe too much headroom. Still too much? Okay. I'm standing. I'm standing right now. I'm also sad. The scroll guy, he indeed was not here. We're beginning without setting any
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
variables.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
This is why I'm
427.
standing, because I want to do stretchy stuff.
Job was simple. He
Now,
sat
why
at
am I
his
trying
desk in
to...
room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how
Actually,
to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
if I
And then
stand...
one day, something very peculiar.
But now I'm further back.
Something that would forever change
But you
Stanley.
can see my legs.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his
This
senses,
is bothering
he
me.
got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Here we go, baby. Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. The most effective way to deal with a problem later. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
See, this is the... I want... this is the problem. Because sometimes I want to get in closer. Oh, it's okay. I have to be down here. Oh, yeah, here we go. We lunge down. We lunge... Ooh, take that knee there. Yeah. And then we stretch... Oh, my... Yes. Splits, here I come. Let's see. Ooh, do we do the new content? New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
This door, okay. Squeeze the glutes. Oh, okay. No, I want to go that way, buddy. No. No. There's more track. I want to see where the track goes. There it is. What is this? Stabbing my foot as I try and stretch. Okay. Oh, is this the same? Is there?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Hmm.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Hmm.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Taste the sequel. Old and busted, new hotness. Okay, somebody's seen. Was that Bad Boys? Is that busted? Was that Bad Boys? Old and busted, new hotness. No, Men in Black, right? Yes, I think, or maybe it was Men in Black 2. No, you drove that old and busted, new hotness. I think it's Men in Black 2. Fantastic.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything
Can't see this, my leg's shaking.
Really.
2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. A dick? No torso. Oh, 2 torsos. 2 torsos. The end is never the end is never the end. The end is never the end. Again. The Stanley Parable is the prequel to Stanley Parable 2. Oh. Oh, that feels good. New features. Wait. What did I just figure out in my brain? Hmm. Hmm. yeah.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Merch. Stanley Parable 2. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hips. Oh. Oh, it's burning. It's burning. It's burning. Bomb, bomb, bomb. It's burning. It's burning. Oh, oh, I'm a bitch. Wow. 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 Okay, no screenshots. Oh. Oh, wow. Wow, pow. Wow, pow. Wow, pow. Wow, pow. That looks funny. That's fun. All these doors. All these doors. No doors. No doors. Free and easy, new plus easy trophy. Get it here. Pull the lever to receive your trophy. It just works. No. No doors. No doors. I don't want to... I want to keep coming back here. Can you find them? Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's gaming. Okay, I'm gonna sit down now. Here's the... I can't... Oh, it's actually like the same height. I did all that moving around, and all I had to do was back up. Oh, wow. Okay. I can't... Hold on, I have to turn this light off, because I can't see... Where... Oh, I am moving forward. Okay. I couldn't tell if I was actually moving towards... That's Stanley? Oh my gosh! Oh, that startled me. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, no, wait, missed call. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna pause this. Okay. Not gonna. Wait, where's my? Yeah, not gonna sugarcoat it. Ah. The funny thing about that reaction is when the light hit my. I need to point this thing up a little bit more. That's a little fucking bright. When or swing. Yeah, there we go. This is there we go. That's better. When the light hit my eyes, I turned my head away. But then when I saw how bright it was on my face, that's what caused the it wasn't because in that moment I was like, oh, that was really bright. And then my brain was like, yeah, we felt that. That was interesting. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's just fucking dark. Can you find them? I wonder if they're...
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The infinite hole. Well, let me not be afraid of doors for no.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
For an office? Get well someday. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece. What feels Stanley? What do I look at? This feels more Stanley Parable. This feels this feels not unnecessary. This feels specific. Like the humor in this one to me, Happy 12th Birthday Stepniece, is the specifying of the stepniece as being something not typical and very specific. I understand that humor. Get Well Someday this feels Stanley Parable because it's not saying anything. And that's what a lot of the signs in Stanley Parable.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
See, Oh, see, if I was really, for a moment I forgot I was in the Stanley Parable, and I was just answering and forgetting the totality of the situation. Allow me to rectify my perspective. Had I thought about the fact that this was in the Stanley Parable, that highlights choice not mattering. Would I have felt smarter than the game? Do I feel dumber?
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Than the game. Now, I'm like, oh no, the game outsmarted me. Oh, the game is so much smarter than me. Oh. Not to be afraid of doors. Alright, we're gonna go play this one. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Name. Namedu.
Jim.
Oh.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Fascinating. When you said Jim, the first Jim I thought of was Jim Carrey. And I began going into my mind. I was like, ooh, one of the Grinch inspired expression. And then I began thinking of all of the movies that I've seen him in, and then I realized that isn't Jim. It is. What it is to be. It is an expression of Jim. That's what it is. Yeah, my understanding of him is through his artistic expression, which is reflective of who we are. I guess that's I don't have a better way to say that. Able to unleash the expression of his emotions filtered through the art. Yeah. Anywho, I then began thinking about him as from the interviews he's been in where he has spoken about his father and his perspective on his approach to life. So then I started thinking about it from that perspective, and then I realized that he sees the same way that I see, through eyes. it what it it's gonna stay with me. what it feels like to see is the same. So then I had a moment of, like in the movies where, a little bit, then we're good. In the movies where it's like as a person does this, they see there's a person that they see, and it kind of filters in over the person that they are, bomb, bomb, and I see the hand swirling, and it was like that. I was seeing my hand become Jim's hand, so that I could press this button. And then I paused to talk about it instead of pushing the button. Ugh, one day I'll learn. Oh, we gotta, hold on. Can I... Oh!
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
I think it's just loud. We're gonna turn that down a little bit.
Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Jim. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, Jim. Soon you'll start to lose all sense of Jim. Who you actually are. Jim.
Bitch.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Is that in the game, or is that... Whoa. Alright. I guess I could just screenshot. But yeah, that's the sound whenever a phone call is about to come in. Like, oh, whose phone's ringing? Yeah, that's how I fight back. I take screenshots where it tells me not to. That's how I fight the system. Let's get this free new trophy. Exit, huh? Exate. Pull the lever, receive your trophy. No more steps.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
What if I just don't pull the lever? Is he gonna... Oh, he doesn't even... Oh, see, I saw that and I was like, but what if I can't get back in? Because I actually want to pull the lever, mother...
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I feel... I like actually had a small... I was like, oh, hey, maybe I'll get a trophy. Yeah, I'm looking at myself. I don't like sometimes how this game makes me feel.
Haven't we seen yet?
Oh, I use all my...
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I'm gonna throw up. I need some water. Oh. Oh. Oh, I used all my jumps. This is my gaming nightmare come true. Oh my gosh. Used up all of a resource. To then not be able to use the resource. What am I doing? When desired. I need water. I'm so excited. Hunger strikes me in the evening as the sun moves through the sky. My biology craves sustenance. Oh, nope. Don't like that. No, thank you. And water. the jump circle. You guys couldn't hear me, I'm sorry. I realized I missed the settings guy at the beginning. Who is now different than the narrator. He wasn't, I don't think. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I conceptualize the settings guy as a different entity than the narrator. I conceptualized the settings text. Well, my brain.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. Do we go into the hole? the infinite, to the zero jumps. Mess with me a little bit. We'll be back. Oh, okay. Reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I must bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable too. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh, it's just with me. Okay. I'm glad I did this before I went down the hole. I wouldn't have had my bucket if I didn't go down the hole. Okay, what else we got? So did collectibles, got the trophy, hole is last. Jump circle, sad. That's new. There we go. That's what we're going to go check. I'm going to go check what's new. Button says gym. We haven't checked the merch. The insurance bucket. Exit. Don't do that. Epilogue. Wait, is this? This is. Oh, that's hilarious. No, this isn't. Yeah, this is just. It's just stairs. You heard Jim in the game. Enjoy the new features.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. Where did it say exit? Okay, let's go check the exit. Should I come around here? Pop, pop, wow. And then this pops this way, and then that pops this way. Here we go. Okay, what's over here?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Oh. We're gonna go down the black hole. We're gonna go check the black hole out. I have a feeling it's just a black hole, like it looked like a hole. It'd be funny. Okay, this is my guess now. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna walk on top of it. It's like a Looney Tunes hole in the wall kind of thing. That exit looks exity. That exit looks thingy. I'm not sure if... Well, I mean, it could restart. No, I'm thinking Looney Tunes. Let's see. We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony, and in this cartoony... Oh, no, it's a hole. Oh,
Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if
Whoa.
I do say so. Now then,
Whoa.
since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
To be fair, that was really far. The basically infinite hole. I wonder... Well, here's the deal, narrator man. The hole is basically infinite because if I'm not sure how the fuck he slowed me down not to die, but if anyone jumped in that hole, they're not coming back. Like, it would turn to darkness. It would be this and then death if they were looking up. And if they were looking down, then it would just be... And as far as anyone can see, it's basically basically infinite. What's the damn what's the damn what's the infinity between infinity, right? The difference between this and infinity is infinite. So what's the difference between it's a little bit of infinite? Okay, I'm stretching. I want to stretch that, and it's not stretching.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you. And
Oh no, I accidentally fell into the hole.
You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Huh. fascinating. What's that noise? Something's happening. I have my bucket. Oh. Oh. Oh, hello. Oh, there's music though. Change my perspective. Whoa! Whoa! Dude, bomb! Change your perception? Hey! Oh, this is amazing. Go. Do we do it? The reality?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no.
Yeah, no.
What?
I'm early. I'm not. No.
Is na mar na eerste bet na zulpskikken echt kwam met er as het serpes na schoming er veel was er heel mar heel lezen. Oh, you arrive at last stead. He is a collector just on fit see echt mess verder with it. Er is nowhere there no sharp was na mum. Ja, blickness is er na strips of net it's na mum was na mum. Na mum Steve Edel ever met for fear command and news the rough no if was trying.
I'd be interested to play that backwards. Oh, should we change the reality while this is happening? Oh. It's so interesting, the perception, perspective, reality. We'll do change itself in a moment. Having the audio be what changes my perception, it informs the feeling that I have from this. Emotions are a reaction to my perception. My perception is influenced by my perspective. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Okay. Oh. I need... I was desiring a perception. I wanted some music with some boppity bop bop. What's the guy from... Here we go. I don't want to desire, I want to just... That's not the one. Where's that one at?
Stronger.
Where's that one that was... No, that's not it. Where's that one that I was grooving to? We got 5 more. And then... I'm changing myself. There it is. Oh.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
Oh!
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Yeah, let's go back, baby. Take me back. Take me back.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Fine. I guess I'll exit. I mean, that was fun, though. That was fun. I can like still hear it. And that was so fun. I'm glad that that was in the game.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Guess I don't have a choice. Why am I surprised?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and could push buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
I am so
Was happy.
mad about the balloons.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
This
Shocked,
game.
frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got to his desk and stepped out of his office.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Oh
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection. Finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Is it going to do the thing?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
How long have I been playing? Whoo, Betty. We're gonna take a break. Seems like as good a place as any to stop. Yeah, we'll come back to the Stanley Parable 2, I guess. Next time! Why did I do that?